Men with no kids and no marriage plans are the fastest growing demo. Sorry for them, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about, because in my mind, I'm just like, if you have no plans,
That was the only thing throwing me off. Like,
if you have no plans, then I mean, you have other things. Bless you. There's other things you should be worried about.
you know
The
what?
woman is
I
what is it
feel
called?
like
The variable. What's the one that doesn't change? You know how you have like hypotheses, the variables. Like what is the one?
there's like a recent episode or maybe recent clip where I said that I'm happily single. That I don't know why that had people in an uproar because how can you be happily single?
Really?
Yeah.
What were they saying?
I don't know. Someone actually DM'd me and said, "Oh, you're 27. You can't possibly be happily single at this age. You should be married with kids." I actually ended up responding to him and said, "Excuse me," but then I was like, "Amanda, what the are you telling this man excuse me for?" I said, "Just block him."
So you can't see the correlation between both these things, right? That you're happily single, and that's what this, we won't question the study. The study's saying the same thing. Yeah, never married, no kids, no plans on getting married. It's the same thing you're saying. They're happily single, you're happily single. If you can understand it for yourself from the point of view of a woman, why can't you understand that men will also have the ability to make the very same choice? Like, you brought this topic up to talk about a male issue, and you stayed on it for all of like 0.5 seconds, and then already made it seem like it's something missing or something detrimental to the man. But when the other woman brings it up, it's like, oh yeah, you completely understand it. And that's the thing, that when men, that's why when we see things like this and we understand, like, you're not really given that same sort of grace, you're not really given that same sort of ability to understand, to be understood and said, yeah, the way you feel about things, he can feel about things. The choices you make, you're happily single. A man can be happily single. If a man is not pursuing a woman, that can't be somehow bad, but it's fine for you. So look, before we continue, guys, hit the like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss uploads. Still trying to do 2 a day. I want to replay this one so we can take some things apart here.
Men with no kids and no marriage plans are the fastest growing demo. Sorry for them, I guess. I mean,
Okay, right there. Why is it sorry for them? If men with no kids and are the fastest growing demographic, that means there's more women that aren't being married. Whatever way you feel about this, right? And there's a multitude of ways. If you're like, listen, I'm done. I have no skin in the game. I don't want anything to do with this anymore. I'm off the dating game, the dating trails. Okay, we're in this together. So everyone that pulls out and says, no, I'm not doing it anymore, that's another person potentially that they isn't available for marriage. If this is the fastest growing demographic, I'm assuming it's among males. If this is the fastest growing demographic among males, that's just more and more women that are not going to be without. So if you feel sorry for them, you should say, I feel sorry for us, rather than sort of just thinking it's not my issue, it's not my problem. This is, I think, I would have thought that it would have been easier for us to understand this as you see more and more people come on and give their testimony about what it is, how dating has been for them, how rough things have been, and how unsuccessful things have been. But there is this appearance that when it is from a male point of view, say like the male loneliness, we say more and more men are alone and not going to end up with someone. The someones are you. The someones are you, your sisters, your cousins, your aunties. We're in this together. So when one side is doing poorly, if we're, and I'm not saying men deciding not to do this means men doing poorly. I think more or less it means men are choosing their own peace, their own happiness, and other things. They're not prioritizing a woman or family. That's fine. That's not wrong. But when that group falls out of the dating pool, that just increases the amount of available or women looking for relationships. Maybe it's easier to look at it in the context of cities, say like city like in Atlanta, right? When the ratios are off, or when you go, or have people say when they go clubbing, how there's more women than there are men, or when you go to dating events, speed dating events, when there's more women than there are men, and you can see that effect that it has on women. So taking this issue and just kind of be like, oh, kind of sucks for them, feel sorry for them, and just moving it on is why we still have this gap in understanding between both genders, where I think men have an easier time of understanding what women are saying that they want, what their desires are, because it's everywhere. It's plastered everywhere. They have a chance to understand more what women want. I think that's a better way of putting it. We have a chance to understand more what women want because it's out there, it's everywhere. They're constantly saying it, even though they may be saying different things at different times in their lives to different people, but that information is out there. When men have said what they want, it's usually met with this sort of this similar disdain, as it's unimportant. It's a thing for them to figure out, and we'll just keep getting along with our lives. This is why things just keep falling apart.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about, because in my mind, I'm just like, if you have no plans,
That was the only thing throwing me off. Like,
if you have no plans, then I mean, you have other things. Bless you. There's other things you should be worried about.
Yeah, I think there are other things that men are worried about. If you don't have plans, if you, I said this on another video, if when men take away their desire for female attention and companionship, that's a very large part of our psyche and our energy that's been devoted towards that. Whether or not we're successful or not, the very large part of our drive has been devoted and shunted, to the right, where it's always trying to seek that. When they're saying, I've got no plans for that. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, cool. But I'm not actively making moves towards that. It frees up a lot of, resources, not just financial, but in terms of that mental space, instead of like letting go of that load on your shoulder. Now you get to say, this is what I'm pursuing. You get locked in. A man that's locked into his purpose, he's finding peace. He knows when he gets up what he's going to be doing. He has a clear understanding what happens next. In this journey to get where I'm trying to go, I can see the steps. Boom, 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 boom. There's a lot of peace. There's a peace of mind that a man obtains when that's what he's doing.
The woman is what is it called? The variable. What's the one that doesn't change? You know how you have like hypotheses,
It's constant.
the variables. Like, what is the one?
there's like a recent episode or maybe recent clip where I said that I'm happily single. That I don't know why that had people in an uproar, because how can you be happily single?
Really?
Yeah.
What were they saying?
Again, this is really not something that men have the luxury of being able to do, in the sense that they could kind of take women's issue and just, it's not really important. It's not really important. And then you have a successful podcast about it. Like, no, what they're looking for, what they want, who cares about it? Like, let's put that to the wayside. Or we'll like, let's discuss a women's topic today, and then 6 seconds in, just say, I feel sorry for them, and keep it moving. I think if we're really trying to look to see where we can have solutions, we have to understand that everything that we're doing here becomes interconnected. The less effort I put out, the less effort you seem to receive. That's when you start talking about the bare minimum. When a man has to do X, Y, and Z, and he's not doing this, and that's across the board. That's not happening for you. It's not what you're saying. So you get sort of withdrawn. You see, you get hurt, and you carry that hurt forward. Now you won't do for the next man what you probably should have done for him, but not for the previous one. So it's this negative ripple butterfly effect. But when you flat out, and this is how podcasts like this often read to men, you don't really care about our issues. You don't. And I'm supposed to now somehow do for you. There's nowhere where we teach our youth to do for someone that actively does not care about you. And for such a long time, this is kind of what was the norm. Then the internet happened, and we all got interconnected, and men got to see this is happening to you too. It doesn't have to. You could pursue your own dreams and not have any desire or make any plans for any of this. I think this is one of those things that, as it plays out longer and longer and longer, we'll get to see we get to see how things sort of, I don't say break down, but that's probably how it ends up being. And then we'll have even more work of trying to reunite both of these streams later down the line. But if you think I missed something, let me know. Eager to hear what you guys have to say about this.